Hello everyone! You're probably wondering why I'm cutting down trees. Well, that's because I'm pretending each and every one is one of the villagers. I'm just kidding, I can't kill the villagers. If I did, I'd have no one to torment. What I'm actually doing is removing everything that's not a mushroom tree, that way the rest of the field can become a mushroom tree. And that actually means that everything has to go. Scarecrows, sprinklers, Junimo huts, everything. So my goal for this field is to turn it all into the giant mushroom trees and hopefully put tappers on pretty much every one of those, provided I have space to walk between them to see how much money I can get every week with the tappers that produce mushrooms. And I picked my hilltop farm for this simply because it's the one farm where I had enough money to do one of these stupid ideas, and there's already a few mushroom trees out there because the way they work is if you have one that's already there, it has a chance of producing another mushroom tree around it. So the more you have, the more you're going to get. It's kind of exponential growth. So this field already had 6 or 7 of them. They obviously don't look like a mushroom in winter. They look like that pale gray stump right here. And since the bombs are a lot faster way to clear the land, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to spring because I can't bomb during winter because I can't see the mushroom trunks amongst the trees. And since this is probably going to take a long time, I'm actually happy to see Haley in my house for entertainment. The snowy weather gives her cravings for pink cake. That's an interesting correlation, snow and pink cake. No one ever said she was bright. Okay, here we are, all the way to spring already. Now I can clear my field with bombs and hopefully not kill any mushrooms along the way. And luckily this is going to work out really well because I need lots of wood for my tappers, so these trees obviously give me lots of wood. The other thing I need is copper, so I'm simply going to be smelting copper ore in all my furnaces while I'm doing this. Alright, my field is mostly cleared out. That took me until 11:30 PM even with the bombs because I had to be very careful around the current mushroom trees. I got a whole bunch of wood from that, over 4,000 pretty easily. Now, as it currently sits, this is the start of year 11 in spring. There are 5 mushroom trees in this corner of my field. And there's 3 down here by my quarry, so there's a total of 8. And like I said, each tree has a chance to produce other mushroom trees around it as long as the ground is clear. So the more I have, the more are going to grow. Now it's just a matter of waiting to see how long it takes. Before I get too carried away, I'm going to move all my furnaces inside, that way I can smelt copper a lot faster, and as well I'm going to go to the blacksmith today and buy a whole bunch more copper ore, that way I can continuously smelt because I'm going to need a few thousand to accomplish this. So in spring and summer the mushroom trees can only grow around existing mushroom trees, but in fall they can actually sprout right out of the ground anywhere they please. So every fall I'm really hoping to get lucky and get a whole bunch new ones in different spots, that way they can continue to grow everywhere. There, I've just bought another 5,000 copper ore, and that should get me started. Now, it's basically just a simple matter of playing the waiting game. Already, it's the 1st of summer today. I've got 288 copper bars so far, so making progress there. Let's check to see if there's any new mushroom trees. Okay, I think I've got one new one up here. I'm not sure about this little thing in the ground. I'm not actually sure what the mushroom trees look like as they're growing, so I'm going to leave that alone for now. Probably won't be a big deal. Alright, looks like we got a total of 1 new one for 1 month. That's not too bad. If I do 1 per month, it's going to take a long time to do this. However, like I said, the more I have in my field, the more they're going to reproduce, so hopefully that picks up pretty quickly. Alright, here we are back around in fall to see if there's any more mushrooms. I think I may have also been wrong about how the mushroom trees do show up in fall. Apparently they just turn a regular tree into a mushroom tree potentially, so if I don't have any full grown other trees, no chance of new ones sprouting up anywhere weird. Anyways, I'm up to 5 just in this little corner. It turns out these little trees can also turn into mushroom trees, so that's probably what they are, so I'm not going to cut those down anymore. I'm going to let this little grove keep on groving. Also have a few new ones here, being the proximity of all those little shrubs to the big mushrooms. I think those are probably going to be big ones as well, so things are really starting to grow pretty quickly. And very good progress on the lower half of my field. Got another 5 down here now, so hopefully those will keep growing at a pretty good rate. I'm going to clear out this grass very carefully because mushroom trees won't grow if the grass is there. Well, let's skip ahead again. We'll check again at the end of fall, see how many new trees we got. Not going to bother to clear the field over here as it will have no effect on my mushroom trees. So this might actually only take a few years. I was worried it was going to take 30 or 40, and that would not be a very exciting Saturday for me. And since it is the last day of fall, I'm not going to bother to clear anything out because the snow is going to move in and eliminate everything anyway, so just going to sleep for winter, get some more copper bars. The rainy last day of fall on my first year of mushroom cultivating. We've got 2 here now, and the grove up top looks like it's growing ever more. Still the original 5. Like I said, I presume the rest of those are all mushroom trees, so here's hoping. up to 5 in that little corner, so that's not bad. This is pretty good for 1 year. I say 1 year because they don't actually do anything over winter. They just go back into a little stump form and that's all they do. It's not till spring that they have a chance to grow again. Definitely getting lots down here. And here we are back in spring. I don't think anything should have popped up over winter, so I'm just going to give my mushroom trees a little more room and then sleep through till summer. Well, here we are again, back in spring, so I have a little bit more clearing to do around my existing mushroom trees because all sorts of new crap pops up at the start of every season. And today I'm already out of copper ore because I've turned it into 1027 copper bars. I figure I'm going to need about 2000 to make this work, which means a lot more copper bars. Alrighty, here we are back on the 1st of summer. 4 mushroom trees there already. This grove definitely getting bigger. 3 up there by Grandpa's shrine. Hope he likes mushrooms. The mushrooms are definitely multiplying very quickly now. I'm a little concerned about how they're going to make their way across the water now, if they even can by their current state. Because clearly they're not having any problem multiplying at this point, but they only grow pretty much immediately next to each other, so I don't know if they're going to be able to cross the water. I might have to try something clever to make them do that. I think in regards to getting mushroom trees across the river into this side of the farm, I'm pretty much just not going to clear this side and hopefully enough full-grown trees show up that during fall, one of them turns into one of the non-boring mushroom trees and expands from there. Hopefully sooner than later, otherwise I'm going to have one half of the farm full of mushrooms and the other completely empty, thus prolonging the whole process. I have also noticed the mushroom trees don't grow immediately side by side. There is space to move between them, which is good. That means I can do all the tappers fairly easily and don't have to worry about that logistically. But I am wondering about all these trees in between now. I guess they can't go to full grown. They're probably all mushroom saplings and they're just going to stay in this state forever. Anyways, I'll keep an eye on those and see what happens. And let's see what the second fall has brought us. There's definitely a lot more mushrooms. All the groves continue to grow, but there's still none across the water. So, like I said, I'm going to continue to let trees build up over here, and hopefully eventually one of them turns into mushrooms. Alright, we'll check again at the end of fall before skipping ahead to the new year. So, it's now the last day of fall, and the mushroom trees are really starting to take over my field. Here's a zoomed out view of where they're currently at. These ones over here are technically on this side of the river, so as long as I can bridge down below the cliffs, they should cover my entire field pretty easily. Once again, still not sure if they can make it all the way down here or not. I am starting to get a few trees on this side anyway, so maybe they'll turn into mushroom trees, maybe they won't, only time will tell. Let's move on to spring. Back to summer, it's more of the same. All my groves have expanded, no new developments. I think it's going to take at least 2 more years to get this to where I want it to be, so we might just skip ahead right till then. Okay, this is the 3rd fall. At least I think it is, might be the 4th. Anyways, a mushroom has grown up on top of the ledge, so that means they presumably can move up and down the cliffs. Alright, so it looks like the mushrooms have finally made their way down to this lower ledge. I don't even know how many years it's been. I actually lost track because it's been so many. Anyways, I suspect this one is a mushroom, and so from here they just have to make their way all the way across my farm and then all the way down to the bottom. At this rate, it should only take another 10 years. And that means Haley is going to be very lonely by that point. Well, as it turns out, one of my normal trees did turn into a mushroom tree in the fall of whatever year this is, way down here in the corner, which is actually awesome because it would be really hard otherwise to get mushrooms there. So I'm simply going to free that thing up, cut down everything around it, and then hopefully in spring it will start to spread its seed. Alright, 14 years later. That's all it took. Finally got there, but look at all these mushrooms. Still not done yet though, still gotta add a tapper to each and every one of these stupid mushrooms. And now that I've finally made my way all the way into the corner, it's time to start doing that, so tapper after tapper after tapper. I feel like this could take a really long time in itself, which is unfortunate because I've already spent so much time doing this that I'm just running out of fun. That's day 1, over and done with. I've got optimistically 1/4 of my mushrooms all tappered. It's a very slow process making my way through them all. And because it was so much fun, we're going to do it again for day 2. And it would be really awesome if I could surprise myself and get like half the field done. I don't have a lot of hope though, because it is really tedious trying to find a path through all this. And it turns out mushrooms do grow in the quarry. I was a little curious about that, so there's the result. Obviously I could have cleared the quarry out more, I just didn't want to continuously do that over the years because that would just take even more work. That's day 2 of Tapper Madness done, just after 10 PM. I was really hoping to get more done, hopefully it should only be a few more days. I could be very wrong about that though, because the whole thing was only supposed to take me a few years. Already, my first tappers are starting to produce. I'm obviously not going to harvest those yet because I want to do them all uniformly and evenly to see what the whole thing is worth all at once. And today I need more wood because you tend to go through a lot when it's 20 per tapper. And I'm just going to buy a whole bunch and hope for the best because I was too lazy to calculate or even guesstimate how much more I'm going to need. And that's it, the last of the tappers all laid down. At least I think I got them all. Some of them are hard to find, whatever, close enough. Now it's just a matter of waiting till they're done. Just a little bit more waiting. And Haley, for being absolutely no help through this whole thing, gets a sap. Gross. Okay, I was expecting a little more variation in the types of mushrooms you could find. Apparently the wiki lied, it seems to be just the common mushrooms. Anyways, time to see if I can even pick these all in one day. Okay, got them all in one day. Turns out there's not nearly as many as I had originally thought, but I guess that makes sense because you probably only get about 1 per 8 spaces. And of course, the $1 million question, how much was all this effort worth? So we're looking at about 15,000 gold. That's about 1,000 gold per year. That really sucks. This was a stupid idea.